After reviewing this heinous video, it shows why the police department every day is becoming more and more the bad guys they were years ago. When you see two oversized officers over abusing their authority, abusing and trampling over rights to what? Enforce these idiotic so-called codes. It's what's really wrong with this police department today. Police are so much out to enforce everything from stupid skateboard ordinances to using brutal force, even up to seatbelt violations, that they ignore real criminals. To me, I believe cops are the most useless things. Recently, I had a call to support from NC Cop to support police in all their endeavors and their charities. And people, you would be surprised, 90% of them slam the phone down on the telemarketer that even bothers to try to help them. They tell them like I do. Do what cops do best, steal. But when I seen that video, it was appalling that it took a officer to choke a child down just because, what, a little skateboard ordinance, and then decided to throw in the usual criminal offense, the most heinous of all, disorderly conduct. Based on whatever a police officer says, they could take offense of, I'm wearing a black shirt. That's disorderly conduct. Say something I could say. I can look a wrong way. To me, that's bogus and bullshit. Like all cops. Then they ask why, when they need help, and they need people to come to their aid, not too many will even bother. Whenever they put out flyers, hey, we need you to clean up the neighborhood, help us get rid of these drug dealers, most of the people flock to the drug dealers. When people, say in the neighborhood, has committed offenses that, hey, you're under probation, you have to help us, they refuse. They tell like it is. The police make their own enemies. So whenever something happens to a cop, like a death or something, very few support. In fact, if anything, you got more cheers. Especially in North Carolina recently, 2 cops got killed because of the governor's war on gangs. Now they're giving him mortal status. Just like the so-called terrorists in Iraq, we got a new terrorism. The gangs now, to get immortality with the gang you're with, you simply kill a pig. Any way you can, if you had to walk right up to them and blow their heads off. For this so-called war, the gang members get immortality. When you set the police, when the governor and the local governments decide to trample all over people's rights, eventually people get tired of it. When the police become a worse villain than the so-called drug dealers on the street. When the government turns police from what they were years ago to what they are now, a bunch of overweight slobs whose only real purpose, when people ask them questions, rather than answering them correctly, saying, look, this guy did this, instead refusing to answer a citizen's questions, but rather put your hands behind your back, I threaten to pepper spray you, I threaten to mace you, I threaten to shock you or shoot you if you do not comply. You're going downtown for disorderly conduct, which 99.99% of the time, these joke of a judge will say guilty no matter what. If you invoke your constitutional rights, guilty. Because the cop says it's not a constitutional issue. To me, as far as I'm concerned, sooner or later, you're going to start seeing people finally get tired of the police and finally tired of this, and something will be done. Maybe not nicely, but probably in blood. Think about it, police.